Hello. Welcome back to Pilot Prep's webinar series. Today we've invited a special guest speaker to share her experience of engineering at the University of Calgary and hopefully give everyone some insight on what that pathway looks like. Again, we're really excited to have you here, Christina. Without further ado, I'll let you take it away.
Hi everyone, I will talk about my high school experience to university lessons, and I'm actually I just finished my third year, so I'll be going on internship this May, this month. Next slide. The first slide I have here is an introduction slide about myself. I graduated from Western Canada High School, class of 2018, and I did partial IB in bio and chemistry. I'm a third, just so you guys know, software, uh, University of Calgary allows engineering and business dual degree, so you can double major in engineering and business. And I think in Canada, only University of Calgary and Western Ontario University allow this, and that's one of the main reasons why I chose U Calgary, because it offers this dual degree in engineering and business. And in terms of the most useful courses from high school that I found were Math 31, Physics, all of the computer science courses, and Chemistry 30. So these courses are really relevant to your first year of engineering. And how engineering works at University of Calgary is that in your first year, everyone does the same courses. So after that first year GPA, that's where they rank you and guarantee your engineering specialization. So I chose my specialization as software engineering, and that's how I got in. So first year would just be a common core year, and then second year and beyond would be where you specialize in the engineering field you want. So in terms of admission average and what would guarantee your placement, you want to aim above a 3.0 just to be safe. But another thing that the university did was that for majority of the years, if you were admitted from high school with above a 90% average, then your guaranteed GPA is 2.7. Otherwise, it's a 3.0. So I guess that's a benefit of maintaining a high GPA for coming in from high school. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. So this slide here would show the first year of engineering that you'll be doing and the schedule. So you can see in the fall you do Chem 209, which is really close to Chemistry 30, and it's even more of a benefit if you did Chemistry IB, because it's like basically the same as Chemistry IB. Standard level or higher level. I didn't do higher level. I think I only did standard level. Engineering Eng 233, the equivalents would be Computer Science 30, where you learn the same topics as Computer Science 30. And then Math 275 would be a combination of Math 31 and Math 30, and this is a prerequisite course. Anything that's labeled as a prerequisite course on this screen here, that course you have to pass in order to take the following courses in the next term or semester. So Eng 223, Math 275, and Math 211 here are prereqs course. So Math 211, I think you would learn it linear algebra. Math 211 is linear algebra, and it has 3D lines or projection or a lot of topics that I don't really remember now, but it involves a lot of matrix manipulation, and you get exposure to this if you did math IB in high school. So the last course in the fall would be Engineering 225, and that involves electrical engineering. and you would be learning circuits and having hands-on experience in building breadboards or circuits related systems. And for the winter, you take Eng 201, and this is a mix of fluids and liquids topics. These topics are most relevant in chemical engineering and mechanical engineering. And then for Eng 202, it's a civil engineering course. In statics, you learn a lot of new topics related to statics, like couples and strength calculation of statics object. And Math 277 is the course you would take if you passed 275. Otherwise, if you didn't pass 275, you have to wait for the next year to take it again. So you'll be a year behind. So make sure you pass all your courses to take the following courses in the next semester. In this course, Math 277, you'll learn a lot of 3D stuff again, integration, differentiations. And then for Physics 259, it's really similar to Physics 30. It's just a lot of intensive labs and assignments. And Eng 200 would be a design class where you work on projects, you learn SolidWorks, which is an AutoCAD tool using a lot in mechanical engineering or civil engineering to build like 3D models. Lego Mindstorm to build like a simple robot, and then you'll have a lot of design challenges related to that course as well. And then finally, spring and summer, you'll have to do a comm study. It's just like kind of like an elective you take. It's like an equivalent of an elective of any subjects you want. Like you can learn psychology, English, or any course that's an elective to your degree. So after this first year here, they will take the overall GPA of your first year and rank you based on your GPA. So if you're above a 3.0, you're guaranteed to go into the field you want to go into. If you are lower than 3.0, depending on what category you fall into on the last page, you have to rank the specialization you want to go into by order, and then they'll put you into wherever has space for you. And next slide. So here are some technical clubs that would recommend anyone to join. You don't have to be in engineering to join these clubs, but these are engineering related clubs, and it's one of the best ways you can meet recruiters while you're going to school. So Schulich Racing is where you can join and build a race car for competition. And then their Schulich Racing is really good at University of Calgary. It's quite competitive to get into, and they win a lot of international competitions, and most of the team leads in Schulich Racing get hired at really nice companies like Tesla or really big car companies. And then the next club is SUAV. This club can build planes and drones for competition, and it's also it's not competitive to get in, but they do win competition. And then the next club is ANOVA, and that club is a biomechanical engineering club, or not biomechanical, it's a mix of biomechanical and biomedical engineering that focus on design that simulate nature and biology, like designs. And then the next club would be competitive programming club. You can join a lot of competitions here. You win these coding challenges, and you can get hired by one of their sponsors, like Google. And then the next club is Code for Good, where you work on code on programming projects for nonprofits and charities. And then lastly, we have Tech Startup. It's a fairly new club, but you can join to have to start your own startup. You can meet a team or join already occurring startup or make a new one. Next slide. In terms of first year challenges, what I found was that course loads are very intensive, but if you had a good habit from high school, anything's doable. It's not that crazy or insane. I still managed to have time to do community service and my extracurricular, so it's not that bad. Don't be um, don't be too afraid by how people are saying that it's gonna be horrible if you join engineering. It's not that bad. You'll get used to it. The course load would be like labs and assignments every day. Usually the labs are due every other week. Same with assignments, so you get like 2 weeks to do your assignments. It's just that when you have 5 courses, you would have like 2 assignments due that week or like a couple labs due that week. Yeah. And in terms of social pressure, this was more relevant when everything was in person, but the engineering culture is quite intense. There's a lot of drinking involved, parties. The culture is more kind of like a work hard, play hard environment where you meet a lot of smart and talented individuals who also like to play hard and yeah, live it up. So yeah, just don't give in to the social pressure. If you don't like it, no one is gonna judge you for it. They'll understand. I've never met anyone who said, "Oh, you're not gonna drink with us. We're not." Yeah, none of that environment is what you're gonna face. Like people are very open, whether or not you're gonna drink or not. And then, yeah, that's basically in terms of first year challenges. And then in terms of the must-haves, in my personal experience, I was so grateful to have a supportive group of friends. Good as in they are always sharing and helpful, and um, they're not gonna be jealous of your success or anything. Like you want those kind of good friends that those rare, really kind ones that will help you through no matter what. It's very crucial because you cannot survive alone. When you have a group of people who help you with assignments and you do assignments together, it just gets better. It's more fun that way, and you can solve questions and assignments much quicker. And then lastly, I would recommend for you guys to network and meet people through clubs and be friends with upper year students because they are so helpful. Upper year student, they like myself, we understand how hard it is for first years and what you guys have to go through. So we always want to help people out. So yeah, hidden rewards. Sometimes you can get those if an upper year save all of their old labs or all of their old assignments and they give it to you as reference. It would help you out a lot, or give you notes to study as well. I want to share why I decided software engineering versus computer science and why I even chose engineering in general. In grade 12, I thought I would be a health scientist or anything related to the medical industry or the healthcare industry. But after I volunteered at the hospital, I realized it wasn't a thing for me. I'm still interested in biomedical topics, so so I would be involved in like events that involve biomedical um, research or engineering there. But now I don't really think I would go into healthcare. So I chose software engineering um, since I did computer science in high school. So I decided to go into engineering, something in related to engineering. Yeah. I thought I would go into electrical engineering, but after first year, I realized that I'm more interested in software still, so I just go into software. There are a lot of people who go think that they would go into software engineering, but end up going to mechanical engineering or something else, um, especially when they're already really good at computer science and they code on their own. Um, there are quite a lot of interesting specialization you can take in UCalgary, like biomedical engineering, mechatronics engineering, and I think they offer aerospace engineering now. Um, Another thing I want to touch on is the difference between software engineering and computer science. In software engineering, you would have to do the Common Core first year, like I said, and you don't get a lot of exposure to computer science. I would recommend going to computer science if you know that computer science is what you want to do and like that's all you want to do, so you don't have to um, waste 1 year on non-related computer science topics. And I chose Reed County because the tuition is super affordable. They give out a lot of scholarships, and that's why I chose UCalgary. I noticed that if I'm going to software engineering or computer science anyways, then the school doesn't really affect my application to anywhere or my employment. They just care in computer science. They only care about your portfolio and what kind of projects you've done. There have been a lot of people who get into big firms from UCalgary based on their software skills alone. It doesn't matter what school you go to. I know a lot of people in my year from Western Canada High School. A lot of people wanted to go to Waterloo for computer science or engineering or U of T. Those are the big, nice Ivy Leagues of Canada, but I know my family wouldn't be able to afford that kind of tuition, so I stayed with UCalgary. And then I was super fortunate to get scholarships as well to stay in UCalgary, so I don't have to worry about tuition. In terms of what clubs I went into, I did a lot more events related into community service and business clubs. I joined business case competitions to help solve business solutions and things like that because I know I'm going to be in engineering anyways. I wanted to get exposure to business experience. And then lastly, for scholarships, I got academic and community service. So academic is for grades. My admission average was a 95% average, so I got the academic scholarship there, and then the community service ones was based on how I've helped the community and fundraise a lot of charity money for charity, and I got the Schulich scholarship that covers my tuition. And yeah, scholarship advice, I would advise you guys to always get involved and show your initiative and help your community. What I noticed and why I decided to go on pilot prep here is to share my experience with you guys, and especially I understand what it's like back in high school to worry about university and keep your grades up and yeah, just get into university nicely. And another advice is to keep your grades up because you will get rewards for that in terms of scholarships. And lastly, another advice would be you don't always have to move away to a big university. It might be financially much better if you just stay home and not be in debt and get a lot of financial freedom if you're not in debt and you're able to pay back all your student loans within a year, and you don't have to be stuck or get the stress of having to take a job right away, and you have more freedom to choose where you want to go and also move to other places after school as well if you have money saved up. And then in terms of my community service experience, I thought I was going to healthcare. So I volunteer a lot at the hospital. I also help with childcare at the Children's Cottage. I help fundraise a lot of money for Canadian Cancer Society. And then in high school, um, I helped start at the Computer Science Club. I also got involved in a couple of fundraiser club and Amnesty International. I'm not sure if Amnesty International is still a club in Western Canada High School. But yeah, that's really what I have for today.
All right. Thank you for the info, Christina. I think I can speak on behalf of the audience when I say we've definitely gathered a lot from the session. The next segment will be reserved for any questions, but that's it for today's webinar.